Okay, and the music is loud. Making video, guys, so just keep it up. Yeah, my cousin's running around. So this is the Archangel here, and today I'm going to give my theories on the origins of the Xenomorph and potentially the Neomorph from Alien Covenant. This is just a fan theory. If I get some of it right, great, I totally called it. If not, oh well, it's just a theory. So, what we've seen so far in the trailer is we've not really seen too much, which is good, but it's also bad because I end up wanting a lot more, quite a lot more, when it comes to the new creatures like the Prometheus. When I was seeing the trailers, the one thing I hate about it is that I'm always craving more. And at the end of the Prometheus, we were treated to a very glorious reveal of the Deacon here, which I believe is actually a type of Neomorph in his own right, albeit maybe slightly different, because think about it, from what we've seen in the pictures of a Neomorph, if I just get an image up real quick on Google here, the original concept art for the Deacon was going to be this. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the book of the concept art of Prometheus. I know that Nick Hostetter, a good friend of mine, he had the concept art book. I believe it's called Prometheus Art. I can't remember the name. Do post a link in the description. Just give me a sec. Post my phone on charge. Hold on. Just tapping down on apps. And so basically, the Deacon could be a Neomorph. My dad as well, when we went, my dad, my stepmother, my uncle and I, the four of us went to see Prometheus at the cinema when it came out. I personally really liked it. I thought it was very good, but I'd say out of 10 monster slots, I'd say it filled 70%. Let's say it had 100% monster. I'd say it filled maybe 60 to 70% of the monster level in it, which is a decent amount. But then there's that extra room, which I think they're kind of using for Alien Covenant, like the extra 30%, which is dead on Xenomorph, they've put in Alien Covenant, which I think is really good. Now I just want to get a real quick thing here. Some of you may be wondering, how will this guy fit inside an engineer when this guy can't even crunch up that much? I mean, obviously the action figure can't because of all his bones. Well, I've come up with a theory about that too. What if, because originally the original concept script was that this guy had no bones. This guy had no bones. He was Neomorph from the picture I just showed you. He looked like that. He had no bones, and he was basically like an octopus, but he could squash and all that. So what if this guy originally, his bones were all malleable whilst he was inside? Because when a baby's, before it's born, its bones are quite soft and malleable, aren't they? So and there goes the Deacon because it's drunk. So as I was saying, perhaps maybe its bones, while it's inside the host, are very malleable, so it's all mangled up. And when you see the engineer body tip over and the Deacon falls out, you notice it's very, very floppy. It's almost like spaghetti and string. So what if perhaps its bones haven't fully formed, and as soon as it exits its host, its bones immediately start to harden up? That could potentially be true. I'd like to think it is. It would make some logical sense. Now, another thing, the backburster. If I just show you a quick pic here, that we can see. If I just point right here, if you can sort of see a little thing protruding there, and from what I can see, it's white with a lot of blood colour on it. Well, obviously, it's coming out of something. That could either be a piece of bone, or it could be the Neomorphs. You know, the whatever you call this bit, the back of the head. Which, if I compare it to a Xenomorph here, which is the dog alien, you can see there's a drastic difference between the two. First of all, size. Deacon's much smaller, but still, that's just the figures. These are from separate lines. This is from Prometheus, this is from Alien 3. Good figure, by the way, the dog alien. I like it. It's one of my favourites. I'm my first Xenomorph. So, what I believe the Xenomorphs came from... Ooh, what's that? And I dropped the Deacon again. Deacon's foot is a bit loose at the moment. So, as I was saying before this rude interruption, I believe the Neomorphs, from what we've seen... Sorry, I'll go over what we've seen first, then I'll go over what I personally think, just to try and fill in a few gaps of what I think. So what we've seen is Paradise is a planet where the engineers came from, right? We've seen a derelict. Now, we've also seen spores, weird fungus things on the ground, weird black ball-like things, and they basically kind of release spores into the air, and what we've seen is a spore go inside a guy's ear. I believe those were the eggs for the Neomorph or something along that lines. And ooh, okay. I just want to show you this real quick because I personally think this looks really cool. Just look at that. It's like a Terminator Xenomorph. I don't know if you can see that. Let me try and get this viewed up on big screen. Look at that. That looks nice. That does look really damn cool. That really does look cool. Right, Harry, if you're gonna laugh, you can get out because you're being stupid. Sorry, my cousin's being stupid. Well, one of them's being dumb at the moment. As I was saying, so from what we've seen, then the Neomorph gestates inside its host, much like the Xenomorph. Now we have also been confirmed that they're not all just going to come out the back. One's going to come out the throat, which is going to be particularly disgusting because, as we know, the jugular veins around there, and if that gets cut, you're gonna end up. You could fill a flipping tank full of blood. With how much blood just comes out, it's just everywhere, like a freaking flood everywhere. That's practically what it does. The jugular vein, it bleeds. So if a Neomorph comes out of there, it's gonna be very gruesome, but also very fun to see. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to any future spoilers. Now, as for Xenomorph's origin, I believe they were... Now, I've got a couple theories. They were either A, like the Deacon, made through the black liquid, or the accelerant, whatever you want to call it, the biochemical, because its full name is a load of letters and numbers, which sounds like a lumber jumbly gobbledygook. So, I really can't explain what that is, but... we'll just call it a biochemical, because that's technically what it is. It's a biochemical. I believe it maybe mutates some of the life forms, and it creates the first queen, which starts laying eggs, and then over a few years, Harry, close that door, will you please? After a few years of war between the engineers and the Xenomorphs, a perfect queen is made and lays the perfect batch of eggs. After the engineers kill all the Xenomorphs, they capture the queen, use it to lay eggs, use these eggs with the final result of the Xenomorph, which is what we've seen in Alien. They use it as a bioweapon. That's one theory. Second theory is that the Neomorphs are not made the same way as the Xenomorphs and the Deacon. The Neomorph was black spores. Yes, it was created using the black liquid. But what if extra black biochemical got into its system and then mutated it more, made it more horrifying, more dangerous, made its blood acidic? Because we all know what it did with that hammerpene in Prometheus. What if it made it even more acidic than it usually was? Like, what if in Alien Covenant, Neomorph's blood is about as strong as citric acid? Let's say it got more black liquid on it and it mutated into a Xenomorph queen, for example. And then its blood became a lot worse. So the Neomorphs could be the progenitor, for all we know. But they're probably not, because we've also seen the original Xenomorph in it. So that theory is probably not true at all. Or maybe this guy comes back in the sequel, which I hope to God he does, because we've barely seen anything. We don't know how dangerous he is. He might be friendly, but I kind of doubt that, really. In fact, no, I really doubt he's going to be friendly. I mean, look at that. Does that look bloody... Okay, that looks somewhat derpy. In the film, like, does that look friendly to you? No. I don't think so. And in Prometheus, when they showed it, which the CG for the Deacon in Prometheus was amazing, it really was. It was really good. It was good CG. Now, my final theory, which is probably going to be blatantly obvious, is that the engineers, whilst being on LV-233, I think it is, or 223, I'm not quite sure what the moon was called, but being on their Prometheus moon, we'll call it, because that's what the Prometheus landed on, they made the eggs by accident, seeing the potential use as a weapon. Because do remember, Yannick said, and I quote here, you know those engineers? This ain't their home. It's an installation, maybe even military. So for all that we know, 2,000 years prior to Prometheus, the Xenomorphs might have happened. Because those engineer skulls had a lot of massive holes in them. And we all know what causes a head bite. This little sod in its gob. What if some big Xenomorph was made by accident, which could bust through those shells, creating a massive hole? And they did say the bones were bent outward as well on some of the corpses. Remember when those mass corpses that Milburn and Fifield found? That's what I'm talking about. And maybe the engineer, this proto-Xenomorph rammed its tail through the back of them and then just laid them down on their back. So their body was like that with the rib cages like that. For all we know, that might have happened. So, 3 theories. 1, Xenomorph evolution from the Deacon. 2, which is cancelled out, there's the Neomorph becomes the Xenomorph. And 3, the engineers were making weapons, they screwed up badly, and they created an absolute horrifying mess known as the Xenomorph, which basically all 3 lead to the same thing, and they start with the same thing. Creation and end with a Xenomorph. So, those are my theories. In the next video, I'm going to completely break down the trailer from what I can see, so it's not the most professionally done one ever. I'm going to be modest about that. But I'm going to break down the trailer as much as I can for you guys. I can't show footage. Those are my cousins just there, just messing about some stuff. I can't... no. Sorry about that. I can't obviously show the footage because 1, copyright reasons, 2, I just don't have the tech, and 3, it's just kind of a bit of a waste of time. So, excuse the loud noise, it's New Year's Eve. Sorry, not New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Yeah, welcome to 2017, people. Let's make it a killer. Let's, I'm going to end it here now. I hope you enjoyed. If I've rambled on a bit, I do apologise. If you guys got any theories or anything you want to correct me on, post in the comments. Keep in mind, any abuse will be deleted from the video and may result in a channel ban because I don't tolerate abuse. And, you know, I'm just saying, because I know some people out there will start going, you're an idiot for thinking this and that, and it's going to happen. It's just controversial crap. Still, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.